Mirage having a little bit of an easier time so far in their games this week, playing against Parabellum and Beast Coast so far. Able to beat both of them in pretty quick fashion as well. But now a real challenger stands in their way in the form of the Soniqs. And we'll have to wait and see if they're going to be up for that very specific challenge.
And Soniqs on their own recovery of sorts as well. Mirage have beat Beast Coast and Parabellum, but Soniqs, after that victory over OXG today, they're now in a position, a regulation victory. If they get it, our top 6 is secured and our bottom 2 is as well. That'll be Dunzo for Mirage. But SQ have certainly not been easy to predict so far. We've all thought they'd do well, and they're only just recently against Dark Zero and OXG yesterday and today they started putting up some good numbers. Some bans have already come in as well. Soniqs deciding to ban out that Ying early on, and Operator Mirage have used quite a bit to try and get a few attacking rounds under their belt.
Bans are going to be somewhat similar to what we've seen in the previous matchup so far, just the knock being swapped out for the Brava that we had in the previous matchup. Other than that, though, things looking very similar. Of course, the Solus also being added into the Defender ban pool as well. So we swapped the Solus from the Valkyrie as well as the knock, of course, from the Brava. But otherwise, everything is the exact same as the previous map. Both teams having some similar thoughts to what we saw of our previous 2 challengers here. Going to start things out with Trophy Statuary for Mirage. They have the defensive end of it. So let's get ourselves into round number 1 here. See if the Soniqs are up for the challenge against a newly rebirthed Mirage, as it seems at the start of this week.
It might be against Parabellum, but a 7-2 is still nothing to knock at. Mirage coming in hot. SQ coming in hot as well. I gotta resist the urge to talk about that on Mario. It was such an easy segue to talk about coming in hot, but I'm gonna wait. We'll see if Gunnar decides to fall back. Gunnar, I'm glad the desk talked about it because Gunnar is...
You talk about Mario, look at Geo's up.
That was kind of boring. What's he gonna do? Sit at the window for 2 minutes?
I'm just waiting for him to actually stick on it. Is the big thing with him.
That'd be really funny if they stick the Blackbeard and don't.
This is another op that like is a blatant sign of a repick 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen. And there it is. Yep. So there we go. As with the
last game as well, no ranged hard breach ban between either SQ or Mirage. So we'll see that ace from Geo likely stuck.
5 seconds.
Hold up. We'll stick the ace. There we go. Always got to make sure. Got to give it a couple seconds to ensure that it will be stuck. But no ranged hard breach ban means it will be played like every round by SQ on the attack, or at least when they attack sites like Aviator Games and Trophy and Statuary. No Nook on the board means you won't see any players like Gunnar perhaps sneak up through these stairwells. But Gunnar's been having a very great stage so far, playing a myriad of roles as well. Still definitely leaning towards that second support, but right now still playing that Twitch and sometimes some fragging ops if he wants to. Rexen, of course, he'll play those fragging ops. We always expect him to play those entries. And for Trophy Statuary being the first defense, it appears that SQ might just try to ram straight into that site as soon as they can.
All right, see the players, they're probably going to end up rehosting after this round, so don't be surprised if that ends up being the case. But we are a little bit too deep into the current round to realistically do one, so we are going to continue to play this one out. Soniqs, of course, trying to test the Mirage defense right from the beginning of this one as DP Fire locking himself inside of the walk-in closet. Doesn't rotate to go back over towards the bathroom, of course, if he needs to escape. But he has created a little bit of a different setup for himself here. Let's see if he's able to actually find a kill from this position, though. There's, of course, quite a bit of pressure already barreling down against him as the other members of the Soniqs looking to take that bedroom control. It's Surf to take the first bit of actual damage, though, as I believe Gunnar able to get a few shots off against him before he's able to escape back up to the top of Astro's stairs.
Ooh, Util Burn starting to come through, but ooh, DP Fire, guns Rex at the moment the Ash walks in. Somebody stuck inside the bathroom window as well. He'll have to hop back out. The first foray into master bedroom, a complete failure by SQ. Grix are able to take down Yeti, but DP Fire still alive in closet. The main focus for Soniqs attack, clearing out this position, has been a complete failure so far, but they've been able to mitigate it with that kill on the Yeti. Now they have to decide. With already a lot of utility expended, they still have some remaining. They have some flashbangs and some nades as well, but only a minute 15 seconds left, and DP Fire is begging them to spend more time trying to clear him out. With that Rook armor and the Dock Stims, though the latter now completely depleted, he might end up dying, but if SQ take that gamble, they could spend another 20 seconds when Mirage will just set up inside of the site.
It's going to get a little chaotic here now as Soniqs really need to try and fight for that consistent map control, especially on the inside of Bathroom. Once again, Mirage have put a great foot forward in terms of defending it out so far. It's the Gemini working its way through, so it doesn't give away too much just yet. Oh, what a spot from Kansan! Just goes for the spot check on Astro's stairs and finds the head of another member of the Soniqs instead. Still the potential to frag out even greater than this as well, as you've got still DP Fire maintaining and more importantly holding back all the walk-in and bedroom pressure that would come out against him. And of course, he as well still has at least one challenge Challenger trying to work their way in through the bathroom window itself. DP Fire more than ready for this hop-in if the Sonics decide to go for it. So it's an easy shutdown, and now case control as well for the defense. And they'll continue to dominate here. Everything falling to Citizen now inside of the 1v4. It's basically zero map control to play with. They gift him the bedroom. They're pretty much just trying to trap him in at this point. We'll be able to get at least one more kill against the Mirage lineup, but there is pretty much no time left to play this. Case still down by the walk-in window, so it's just not going to happen here at the end of the day. DP Fire shuts it down, and a brilliant defense from the side of Mirage ends up closing out round number 1 for them. Like I said, they'll probably end up with a rehost here, so give us a second to quickly correct on things if that ends up coming true.
We'll say the rumor, not really a rumor, but the word on the street is that SQ's problem, well, actually, it's not even really a word on the street. Rexon said it in an interview, but one of the main problems with Soniqs right now have been the comms. The communication between the team in round is not what it once was, and that has been their chief focus so far of this group stage to try and fix. And I think if you were looking for a round to epitomize that, we just saw it happen. All this is, really when you think about it, is DP Fire with a ton of utility. Just, we want to do, actually, do you want to do this?
Yeah, apparently, yeah, production, so we got to do it, so.
All right.
Here we go, Rainbow Six time, let's go. You guys can play at home as well. Who got the MVP at 6 Invitational 2023?
It was Benjamaster.
There you go.
You kidding me?
There it is.
I watched it.
All right.
I know, it was like a month ago. I was there.
All right, question 2, let's keep it going. What map contains the attacker spawn locations, east vehicle entrance? Oh, I didn't finish the question, but yeah, I think you're right on that one. That's going to be bang.
Wait, no, it's border.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right.
Oh, thank God.
You didn't say final answer, so we'll give that one to you as you switch over to B. Get that one correct. What year did Space Station Gaming enter Rainbow Six Siege?
2018.
You're just rolling through these. Give the folks at home a moment. Let them think about it. Let them gestate the question.
They're competing against the Dawn right now. I mean, they gotta be careful who they're stepping. All right, fine, I'll wait.
All right, what map is this? Wait till 3 seconds at least. All right, what is it? Do you know?
House.
House. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that was a choice. I missed the C. I read the first two, and I was like, oh, it's got to be one of those.
You happy I'm waiting now? Are you happy I'm being a polite gentleman?
Which team is this? I mean, this one's pretty easy.
It's actually Dark Zero. I don't know why they don't have it on the list.
That's incorrect. That's going to be a Beast Coast for you.
I was not riding the wave, unfortunately.
And which I see. I know.
I actually have no idea who the heck this is.
Really? Okay, I know. That's going to be a B. Yeah, that's
Hibana. Yeah,
you can see the Japanese flag. There's that like very specific logo. You don't know what the Japanese flag looks like?
I got the U.S. education system backing me up. You think they taught me flags?
Who coaches Mirage? That's the next question. Drip, Goddess, or Min?
My 12-year-old neighbor's favorite player, Drip Boolin! He calls him Skittles Fred.
And our next question here: which team is Davide Bucci on?
Well, Oxygen. I don't know if we. Well, no, he was present in the 7-0 earlier. He was there.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Give you an easy one there. When was Chimera introduced to Rainbow Six Siege? Year 2? Year 3?
I actually believe I entered a fugue state when this operation came out, so I'm not sure I remember this one.
4? No, I was off by year.
No, year 4 is when I switched to PC. That was like Phantom Sight, Wind Bastion? I don't know. I got time is a blur.
This would be. Was this a Villa?
No, it's House, silly
But
boy.
they made House like so much bigger on the rework.
No, it's not. Oh,
I mean, yeah.
It literally. Come on, John. It's House.
Oh, yes.
It was the aim trainer.
I'm not good at trivia. It's supposed to be under pressure. You know, that's why I kept asking you the question.
Rainbow Six. Shout out to Brainbow. He's not a player anymore, but gone but not forgotten.
Absolutely. And that'll end our trivia round, ladies and gentlemen. We're just working on getting the last couple of players into the server, so give us a second or two here. We did have to rehost, I believe, due to a server connection issue for one of our teams. But we have resolved it as far as more, and we're heading back into the game now. So just give us a moment to make sure there's no additional issues when we go live into the round, and then we'll start things out with round 2. And once again, a little spoiler alert here. If you are just joining us, we did play out the first round. It's Mirage that gave us a good showing on their upstairs hold instead of Trophy and Statuary that maintains control over that first round, as they were able to take that for themselves with great defense on the inside of specifically the walk-in closet as well as the master bathroom itself.
Also, yeah, the whole point I was going to make earlier, by the way, like, the whole setup is just DP Fire is docked with, like, some magnets, and SQ were like, they were literally sitting, they were like the meme of the superhero over the red button, like, oh no, what do I do?
Just not able to make it work, so we'll see if they can quickly course correct for that now. As we're going to head downstairs for round number 2 for Mirage here as they look to maintain kitchen control this time.
Looking to clear the upstairs as well. I'm going to not mention the Brava, just in case they switch off. As a Zombie and Solus were banned, you all do the math at home. Who's left up? I'm pausing for the audience so they can say at home. It's like Dora the Explorer. Valkyrie's left up. And Yeti will be bringing her and those black eye cameras. Mirror also left up as well, so they'll use those black mirrors likely off the site, maybe one upstairs, one downstairs as well. And we have the Brava stuck. And there's actually a lot of electronics on this lineup that she could hack. You've got the EDDs, but you also have those black eye cameras and the Banshees. Likely public enemy number 1 and 2 in terms of utility for this Brava right now, but also might just be looking to get a default cam to set up a flank drone and free up another drone they can actively use during the round. Soniqs will likely, they'll be focused on taking that top floor. They brought the Buck and the Sledge, one for nades, but both for vertical destruction. They want to make sure they open up as many angles as possible to make players like that Mirror on the site and Surf as well down below with the C4s make their job a lot more difficult, make their positions a lot more tenuous.
Soniqs still setting themselves up. Make their first real entry into the building as well. So they have a much slower rolling one on this route. Last round was fairly slow as well, but again, that was due to the disruption that members of Mirage were able to put directly in their face from the first bit of entry. Not going to see as much direct contention this time as Mirage have spread themselves out a little bit more, trying to maintain that control. Ooh, but because of the fact that they've been spread out so heavily, these Brava drones are just sneaking their way forward right now, taking out quite a bit of utility. That second one, though, is going to meet an early demise, unfortunately. Oh! Tries to take the fight, but the shots just not connecting, unfortunately. A great opportunity to try and set the pacing early on here once again for Mirage, but just not going to be able to capture it.
Surf got a 4K with the TCSG against Parabellum earlier today. Unfortunately, that Surf is no longer in the building, at least in round number 2, as he misses some shots, but we're not going to give him too much flack because it's still a 5v5, and Soniqs are still taking a little bit to get to the site. Not Gunner, though. Always not Gunner. He's made his way down inside a clock and knows there's somebody creeping around living room. He's found his one. He's found an opportunity. The Valkyrie's not watching, and down Yeti goes. Living control secured for Soniqs as well. They've got that upstairs, or at least they've got part of the upstairs. If they can get the rest of it, this living control will be very powerful to apply direct pressure to the site, but that's the problem, John. Because Soniqs haven't secured that upstairs control. They're facing a hell of a lot of trouble as DP Fire remains alive. And the longer they focus, again, the more time Mirage has. But Gunner down below is still doing the work.
DP Fire walking right by the explosion radius of that nade as soon as it blows up as well. A few more trades going to go out between both teams. It's still Soniqs maintaining the ultimate control, though, when everything is said and done. Kansan especially still at very low HP, so he's not going to be too long for this world, and definitely not long for the active fight against Soniqs is clear. So all that pressure more than likely going to end up in Surf's hands instead here. Once Soniqs come up with enough clearance and enough intel to have the confidence to move forward with the actual site execute. Kansan feels he has the opportunity to rotate out, and he's indeed correct about that, so we'll be able to retreat all the way back to the red stairs. We'll see what type of an effort he's able to make later on once the Soniqs are able to take more of that site control for themselves. Meanwhile, for the Soniqs, starting to get a little low on times. They need to make this entry sooner rather than later. Citizen responds with one, and Rexit finds the other.
Well, that's unfortunate siege timing for Gunner right there. Could have checked the corner and killed the Cade, but looks the other way. To be fair, he left it to the Pantry player, and I'm not saying he made a bad decision, but oh, that could have been it right there, at least a little bit closer. But Soniqs, again, taking so long to acquire control in the early round, and it really cost them going into the execute. They're going into that clear with low intel because of how long that's taken and how many drones have been shot, and once they secure that control, they're then going into the flood, into the site at a man disadvantage. Now Mirage get their, well, Mirage get their first round of the defense as a result. Wait, am I dumb?
What's up?
Soniqs win that round?
Yeah, Soniqs win that round.
My brain has just...
I'm not even laughing at you, so I think like Jesse just came by like, what are you doing? Made like one of those expressions.
I can't believe my brain just melted. That was weird.
Okay, so give us a moment. Okay.
Never mind, we're good.
Just lag, apparently. Gio thought he had a crash, but it's not going to be the case, so...
The game connected to my brain?
Dude, I don't know.
We both just froze. Hey, at least Soniqs got that first round, though. And also, everything I said is still technically valid. I mean, they took a long time on that clear, and a lot of it was aided by the fact that Gunner got the first 2 kills almost entirely, which is one of the reasons that Gunner has been performing so well, is when the gears seem to be clogged for SQ, Gunner is the main one to either get them unstuck or just brute force it to the end.
Just kick those gears unstuck, you could say. kick starts the
Blowing
action.
the cartridge?
Yeah. I could have done that a lot louder for the record, but I didn't want to make our audio.
That would have been awful.
Yeah, I didn't want to make our audio guy angry at me. So we're going to see potentially the hop in a second here from Gunnar. He's primed for it. Maybe waiting for the E1D or another form of utility to come out. Geo is rushing up the stairs. The flash is out. The support for Rexen follows up the shield player as well to claim the first kill of the round. DP Fire none the wiser to it as he tries to stand back, but unfortunately cannot challenge against that flash shield. Goes down to it. Gunnar as well. Snapshot onto Yeti here as he takes him down and survives his first duel, but he's got at least one more, if not two additional challengers. Not ready for that second fight as he'll be down on the crossfire here. Kansan will get the finishing blow.
Geo has secured Book's control, but you're not really going to take a long fight into 90 with the Blitz. That's what players like Citizen are for. SQ having a very dominant attacking round after a very slow affair previously. That still resulted in a victory, so surely if they take things quicker, they'll get a victory that amounts to 2 in a row.
So, after a little bit of a tumultuous first round over in Trophy Statuary, things seeming to fall into place. For like, I feel like Montaigne on that one, sort of, except his
All right, go back. No, I'm just kidding. You know,
his gadget's named like Le Roc or whatever, so that doesn't.
Demo, by the way, fun fact, he's walking away, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When Demo used to cast all the way back when he was doing like Go Force, he would say Montagne instead of Montaigne. He was that guy.
It sounds like starts to sound like a Three Musketeers reference at that point, like
Montagne.
like D'Artagnan or whatever one of those characters is.
I don't know any of those characters.
Something like that.
I don't know the Three Musketeers.
It's a very French name. I know that.
Shout out to the French.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in the game, John.
Demo just showed us a very nice gesture.
Hey, that logo looks familiar.
Indeed. In fact, it was like one of our trivia questions, I think. As Mirage is back in the game.
Oh,
No, it's not Beast Coast. That's the one on the left.
I told you, I have the U.S. education system. I can't read either.
So we're getting ourselves back into it, folks. The Soniqs taking command of things for rounds 2 and 3 of this matchup so far after Mirage gave us initially great defense back over in Trophy Statuary. Now, they will have unlocked Trophy and Statuary on this round, but interestingly enough, they've chosen not to go back to it immediately. So they are instead going to go back to the AVG site, which they've already played into once, and unfortunately, the Soniqs have already taken control of that one. So that's definitely an indication more likely coming in from the coaches. You'll note that Mirage just had a pause around the back as well, so we'll see if that's potentially going to be part of the reason why they decided to go for this one. And already Geo striking true with the positioning on his Claymore there, catching Yeti dead to rights. He tries to make a dash out the front door early on, pays the price for it with his life.
Like Icarus, he cooked too close to the sun, unfortunately. Yeti falling off the board completely. It's one of the 2 C4s that Mirage have, but those black eye cameras that Yeti placed early in the round will remain. There's no Brava for the Soniqs either, so they will remain thoroughly in the defensive control. So there's no Dokkaebi either to hack Yeti's camera now that he's dead outside. So they don't have to worry about Soniqs somehow hijacking it. Citizen just lurking over by Master Bedroom right now. That's not where the push from Soniqs is coming from. They're very focused on clearing out this utility over Study side, and likely setting themselves up for a push up main stairs early on. If they don't find anything though, Citizen's position will become more important because he might be able to secure that early bedroom control that allow for a rotate later on. But to be sure, with 4/5 of the Soniqs roster right now, they are looking to clear Rampy off of these stairs with the nades and Rotero drones. Naded by the smoke, Mirage are not looking to give it up anytime soon.
Things remain quiet for the most part, except for utility clear across the map right now. Neither team able to go to blows with each other, except for Yeti's unfortunate adventure out through the main doorway. Sonic's going to begin to take some control over on Trophy Statuary side. Mainly just going to be that entry coming in so far from Citizen and Rexen as they're able to take that initial control for themselves. Their terror drones are moving forward as well, but Rampy seems to want to test the waters a little bit here. Further down through the main stairs, he has quite a bit of a challenge waiting for him in that department. Drone is going to be spotting out his position, so it's a good thing he does not try to advance forward here. He would have more likely been a dead man should that have occurred. Nades being primed up from the attack team down below, but unfortunately not going to meet their mark this early on. 2 kills immediately found by the defense, but Rexen does get the trade onto Rampy as he takes down another one of the attacking teammates that was also trying to push the main stairs, so he goes 1 for 1 in that position. Overall, brought down to a 3v3 now, but DP Fire going on a little bit of a hunt, unfortunately, has the wrong angle. Rexen takes him down on the cross instead, and the attackers take the advantage now, heading into the final 30 seconds of play.
Soniqs have to get up these stairwells quickly and gain what little intel they can gather very quickly as well. The defense will divvy it up, one per site. Kansan watching the entry from Games. They have the intel. The player pushes on in anyway. Made his way now to the maps table. That's Grixer now felled off the board. And even 2v2, one pushing up Books. Mirage will double up, but now SQ will as well. One in study, one pushing from Skull. Mirage don't have a lot of intel, but they might have the angles. Only Rexon can cover if they double swing and then win the fight. The bomb could be stopped, but neither peak. Rexon instead gets the kill. 3K for him in round 4. Now both him and Citizen. The G36 duo will retreat down red stairs. C4 goes out. Citizen can Ash charge from below to try to deal with this. Kansan recognizes that fact and goes for the kill. A 1v1 he can win, but a long angle with the shotgun, yeah, that's not gonna go his way. Soniqs pick up their 3rd attack now in a row.
Right idea on the retake, just unfortunately a few seconds behind in terms of his weapon selection and just overall utility usage there as well, such as when he threw the Nitro. If he was able to pull that off just a few seconds prior, might have found a target, but unfortunately just lagging behind a little bit there. So the round once again falls towards the Soniqs. A perfect 3-0 streak so far from them, looking to make it 4-0 now on the next round here to Mirage's 1 that they picked up at the beginning of the game here. So we'll get ourselves into round 5 in just a second, as we'll be heading finally back to Trophy and Statuary, where, as we mentioned previously, Mirage was able to lock down their 1 and only round so far in this game.
And it was built largely around a, and I can't believe I'm saying this, a Doc Rook setup.
Which is gone now.
Which is gone. That's what I was going to get to, is that it's gone now. So what will SQ fixate on this time, if they fixate on anything? As with that closet hold, it's a very big, easy target for SQ to go, oh, we need to clear this out. We got to deal with this. I mean, it's a guy in closet. How can we not deal with this? It'll be so easy. With this setup, there isn't the same obvious position that the attack might just want to clear immediately. And that could actually benefit SQ. If instead they take things a little more normally, maybe go for a full clear out this mirror window inside of Aviator and Games, then they could just go about the round a little bit more normally without having to deal with a player in closet who simply refuses to die.
Pretty much the case. Mirage still going to maintain that presence in that part of the map, but as you mentioned, nowhere near the capacity of the overall setup that we'd seen back in round number 1 here. So Soniqs will have hopefully a little bit of an easier time maintaining that initial map control for themselves, and as you mentioned as well, they'll hopefully just have an easier time taking overall map control away from the members of Mirage because of that lack of a hard point right at the initial entry point. Bravo drone actually going to be lost to a mute jammer, it looks like, just outside of that drone hole early on, so that'll be unfortunate. Thankfully, still outside the building, so if Grixer wants to put the effort in, should be able to wrap back over there, grab it, and redeploy it at a later point in the round. Rexon as well with some nice drone positioning, a little drone parkour here as he hops it down the trellis through Skylight and is able to land it to take out at least one of the mirror windows. First kill of the round ultimately goes to the defense though, as it's Rampy finding Gunnar and eliminating the Zofia along with it.
Drone spinning up.
Citizen lurking down below. Got those 2 nades. We saw Gunnar, rest in peace, in a similar position before. They've switched up nades. Ooh, has Yeti been droned? He looked as it went by, and he's not moved his position. Seems, at least in Yeti's mind, he is safe inside of Memorial for the time being. Playing for the C4 later on, but as Citizen cooks a nade, Yeti will hear the sound cue, creep around the corner, and dome the Yana right as the nade leaves her hand. Yeti can rotate back to the site now, and if Mirage want, they don't even need to play down below. They can do it late if SQ get in for a plant and then go for a C4, but right now, SQ in a 3v5. Still have 6 drones, but not a lot of map control and no advantage to speak of. So if they want to push on into Bathroom, a gunfight will have to be given to them by Mirage. Unless that happens, SQ are going to have a very difficult time breaking into this round.
Good overwatch on the utility front of things from Mirage as well. Both the Bravo drones have now been denied entirely, either through mute utility or by an outright shot, just due to poor timing on the drone, pushing itself into Statuary there. So no gadgets stolen away. Not that there necessarily would have been anything huge to take aside from the Valkyrie cameras as well here. So going to be a small gesture at the end of the day. Just mainly count those as pretty much extra normal drones. You remarked on this yesterday too, that's the additional benefit that Bravo may bring to the table. If you're struggling a little bit on their drone count, you can technically just use those obviously as the normal drones too, and they can help you out here. Finally, Soniqs ready to make their entry though, and they strike true as they begin to work their way in. Grixer with the initial pick on Kansan. Where do they move beyond this now? Kansan somewhat giving himself away. on the mute, he can absolutely afford to, and immediately the patience pays off for Mirage. They don't overreact, they don't overswing things and try to take back that control. They wait for their opponents to make the mistakes instead, and it's worked out so far to bring it all down to Geo. Now it was a 1v4, now down to a 1v3. Nitro brings it down to a 0v3 as our defenders finally find footing for a second round on the very same site where they picked up their first.
Trophy goes Mirage's way both times. They picked the bomb site, but now for their final defense, it'll have to be one of the other more difficult bomb sites for them if they want to secure a 3-3 half. But a very solid defensive round to end on. No gimmicky setup this time. It was honestly just poor intel work from the Soniqs. Because you lose Gunnar, not entirely sure how he ended up dying, but you still lose the opening pick, but you have a good opportunity to bring it back, namely Citizen's nades down below. And what's he doing? He's droning himself in. He's droning himself into Memorial, and of course he doesn't check his corners, but he's got a lot on his mind right now. He's just trying to secure this little bit of control to go for nades down below. And of course he misdrones himself, but he misdrones himself. Soniqs, even though they lost Gunnar, not droning him in, not maybe securing that position and holding a flank drone inside of Memorial to make sure that he's safe. It's a little bit of an oversight by the Soniqs that stopped what could have been a good opportunity to bring that man advantage back.
So now the Soniqs, once again, still with the advantage, but a possibility to lose it right at halftime here. Mirage is able to once again find footing on a secondary site, only locking things down so far in Trophy Statuary, looking to make the second site now by going 50-50. Actually, a little less than that, I believe, this is the third time they've actually gone to this site now. Over here inside of AVG. Let's bring this out one final time in hopes of, like I said, getting some more solid footing onto the ground. The Soniqs, in the meanwhile, of course, have already taken this control twice on their own regard. Immediately, the Bravo drone sneaking right in and sneaking right out.
Clean.
To steal that 90 cam was its only goal, apparently.
It's those dry ran Brava drone routes. Lovely to see from Grixer. And as you can see right now, just taking cams, taking default cameras away from the defense to use as flank drones later on. Now they can watch bottom Astro with that cam, make sure nobody can flank up. Of course, they have to actively watch it to make sure that flank doesn't happen. That's something you gotta worry about with Mirage. They've shown that if there is map control seated in the late round, they will use it and try to hit a flank. We saw it previously when Soniqs were attacking Aviator Games. Though they ended up winning the round, it was still a threat from Mirage. Very nearly cost Rexon his life, had the Legion just been checking the other side of the hallway down in front of Art. Gunnar setting in his Twitch drone as well. Soniqs very much wanting to destroy as much of this utility as possible, and on a full clear, when you're already going to spend a lot of time taking that map control, having these operators like Brava and Twitch to destroy or hack that utility will be a welcome sight once you actually have to get to the execute, and now you don't have to worry about ADSs anymore. Maybe you can just bank an 8 and vault, dodge the ADSs because they're hacked or destroyed, then deal with the player that could stop you from getting the bomb down in the default of this very take.
TP Fire being spotted out over on red. However, he has a few pieces of utility to defend himself in the form of both of these Goyo canisters, which are now going to be popped. The one upstairs, as you can see, though, doesn't explode far enough to restrict Gunnar's position entirely, so that's going to lock our defender into what was seemingly a prone position. TP Fire, though, sneaking right back up to get the dirty headshot off against Gunnar. First kill of the round goes to him, as well as Mirage in the process. A Nitro up, but it's a bit premature. We do have a player nearby, but he's yet to actually push back out through the connector here. As you can see from the explosion radius sitting on the ground in front here. DP Fire, is that enough of playing around with things over in Red Stairs? Has successfully made a descent all the way into the basement. To none the wiser of Citizen as well, who's going to have to kind of lock himself here on flank watch for the foreseeable future. Rexon has made an impact on moving himself a bit closer to the actual site with the opening of Gun Vault. That'll eliminate Yeti and re-equalize the numbers into a 4v4, as of course we're pretty deep into the last minute of play now.
Rescue still looking for a clean pathway into the site. Not in terms of control, but in terms of a kill that can go their way. Grixer just sends it on in, and there, that's what they were looking for. Guns cans it completely, and he goes for more. Pushes for another kill, and 0-1 goes his way. Surf getting aggressive, will have his head cut clean off. And SQ end 4-2 on their attacking half. Seemed like we might be in for a rough go of it after round number 1, but in the other 5, they only drop 1 after round number 1 to secure the advantage.
So, sorry about that. So it falls back down now to the potential defensive or attacker prowess we could get out from Mirage in the second half here, as they're going to be looking to try and hit the ground running, and certainly need to as well. Only just one site capable to be controlled over on the defensive end of it, with the hope that the attacking side is a lot better. Otherwise, the Soniqs have a fairly easy run up to 7 rounds here just to close out on this matchup and lock in their own personal victory for the day.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
Remember, I believe if I have it correct, that'd be top 6. That'd be it if Soniqs win in regulation. Mirage will not have an easy of an avenue back, but if Mirage still managed to mount a comeback, which, I mean, 4-2 we just saw SSG on Villa, and attacks clearly were not a problem for them whatsoever. SQ also having a good advantage of attack so far with very attacker-sided Villa so far in the NAL, this being the second play of the map. If Mirage also have similar success, and they are able to mount a comeback, well, things get a lot weirder in M80 versus Beast Coast after this gets very, very important very, very quickly. Soniqs will mirror Mirage and also start on Trophy and Statuary as their first defense, but do things a little bit differently. They got the castles all set up, but again, no Dock or Rook whatsoever to speak of. Imagine Soniqs were playing a little bit more passively as opposed to Mirage, who very much, to start things out, wanted to get in the face of SQ and throw them off their guard.
Getting ourselves into the next round here. Mirage looking to make a statement, and immediately does so as well. Rampy finding the shots against Gunner. Not even sure where Gunner ends up actually peeking that from, but gives it away regardless. And Rampy takes the initial control for our attackers here, knocking him down. Citizen on the hunt still down below, looking to try and make his own bit of impact from the front end of the building. But not really a whole lot, as you can see, to scout out in this part. Citizen really hunting for ghosts at this point, as Rampy has well escaped the situation. And I believe in a moment is going to be regrouping with his teammates to focus on the actual assault inside of Trophy Statuary. Kanzi, we can see, joining that effort as well. It's quite a few of the members of Mirage more than ready to begin pressing the challenge forward into walk-in, as well as Master Bath.
Blood drone goes on in, but one just around the corner. Surely this will get shot. Oh no, it completely evades the castle. Not looking down below, will take the Astro default cam away from the defense. Indeed, he's very worried about this pressure from Closet at the moment, likely Astro as well, but he still makes it back to the fortress on Astro stairs. 3 ADSs to stop any grenades from flying on in and destroying him. But SQ have fallen back. They have ceded Closet to the attack, but not much more. As you can see, they're watching from bricks, they're watching from Astro stairs, and as 2 Mirage players hop in, oh no, Geo's not looking. Astro just might be right for the taking for the attack, as now 3 make their way into bathroom.
They move forward. Rampy claims the opening kill yet again. 2 on the round so far for him. However, Surf gonna finally fall as the defense strikes back with 2 kills in their own regard, re-equalizes the numbers down to the 3v3. Rexon with the primed angle to be able to potentially take out DP Fire on his press, but it doesn't work out. Can't find the headshot as he attempts to go for it. Geo opening up some bottom to top angles to hopefully deny the plant when it comes forward as well. Yeti will make the first attempt, but Kanzit holds the line, stops the potential counter from Grixer. Geo still trying to find the angle from the bottom side, but he can't locate it. Ksto's down onto the ground, him at low HP, and now flanked out by Kanzit as he drops down through a half to take him out. Rexon is all that remains in the 1v3 here on the retake as well. Not a lot of intel to play from. You can see him looking for any player that might give himself away. Mirage playing this very safely now inside of the post plant. Not one for an ego peek, but Yeti finally is given the opportunity, and he's able to shut things down, locking another one here for his team.
Attacker defense fits Trophy Statuary. Mirage has it on lock. Every time the site has been played, Mirage have won it now on 2 different sides. But right there for SQ, they fought back very valiantly, bringing it from a 3v5 to a 3v3 as Mirage just flood into bathroom. But unfortunately, it seems Geo hops down below, and Soniqs don't have the intel on the site. He makes holes with the super shorty, and frankly, even without a C4, that could have been a very good play had they known the position of the planter. But he's just sort of left aimlessly down below, and because he made that decision, and because now he doesn't have intel to play and find the diffuser from below, the Soniqs players on the top floor are now at a disadvantage as they try to swing the players covering Yeti from Astro. And when they lose that fight initially, now Geo is trapped down below, and Kanzan outflanks him. So very solid post-plant and very short pre-plant played by Mirage as they flood in the Trophy Statuary. But now we have to see, John, can they win any other bomb site other than Trophy Statuary?
Letting the Bravo through was also a pretty big issue, even more so than it seemed, as yes, it could steal away that default cam sitting in the corner of Astro, but it also took on 2 out of 3 of the ADSs that was going to be supporting the Astro stairs position on the previous round as well. So it made that secondary fallback position for the Soniqs basically a moot point, as they just could not maintain without the ability to fend off the nades. And they once again allowed for Mirage to take far too quick of the map control. As a result of that, Soniqs did not really have the intel to play things on the retake. Cost them far too much. They were boxed out before they could really contend for it. So now going to be only falling down to a 1-round lead over the Mirage roster here. And as you said, taking full control of yet another Trophy Statuary round, this time on the attacking side. Is it a symptom of the site, or is it going to potentially give them a little bit more of a boost here going to the attacking side? We'll see in just a moment, as Yeti is on the hunt right now, taking a whole bit of map control for himself, but it's just ruined as soon as he tries to walk in through kitchen. Grixer is more than ready to stop that.
That was quite funny, wasn't it?
Drone, as well as the player pushing Yeti, I don't believe ever even saw Grixer there, so really unfortunate. He's like, guys, it's open for, oh, never mind.
Dude, guys, I'm making a play. And he didn't.
Ganson similarly will be denied on utility there, tries to steal away the BP on the wall, but it is shot out before it can complete the hack. And oh yeah, Rampy's now going to make a play on his own. He's like, all right, Yeti was just the sampler platter. Here comes the main course.
I'm making a play.
Everyone's working their way in now. SQ will be very confused about this one, but still going to be able to stop the actual plant. There's no Overwatch in Pantry for some reason, so another 1-to-1 will end up going down. Still even numbers for both teams. Soniqs with, once again, great intel into specifically Rampy here because they have the BP on the wall still. Rampy has not been able to work himself over to deal with that just yet. Finally will do so, but it reveals him to the top down. Gunner picks up a frag now instead for the defensive side. DP Fire and Kansan are all that remains on the attack, and they are unfortunately out of position now from the rest of their teammates who had already tried to move into the site.
All right. DP Fire's going to make a play. We saw 2 players from Mirage just flood in. Well, 3 total, technically. Now, DP Fire and Kansan will try to mimic their energy while shift the results. As Gunner still holds that top floor control. It was the undoing for Rampy in the site, but a very nice nab from Kansan, who's been very good with these clutch drones in the past 2 rounds. Gets a black eye camera inside of sight to watch the very center of dining. The default, the bomb chassis, to get intel for his team. Gunner watching the entry from Kitchen. He'll make the drop. That'll give a sound cue to DP Fire, but the flick shuts down the Zofia. And now Kansan with very good intel with that black eye camera. He's got to kill 3 people and have excellent gunplay as well. 2 people he's looking at. He'll send out a flash, look the other way. Ooh, just spots him, but only loses HP in that gambit and loses his life as well. SQ answer Mirage's attacking win with a defensive one of their own.
Able to bring back the advantage to the same point it was at halftime here. Now resuming a +2 advantage. 2 rounds to go as well for the Soniqs to lock down this map in regulation and gain the full 3 points from this game. That would put them in a 3-way tie for points overall between Dark Zero as well as Oxygen. But keep in mind, of course, quite a few of the teams, M80 as well, just below them at 10 points, still have games to play yet later today. So those rankings are going to shift quite dramatically, even though it will temporarily put the Soniqs in a 3-way tie for second if they're able to win this game in regulation.
Being defused by attackers.
Mirage have yet to win a site that's not trophy statuary.
True.
Just want to slide that one in there.
Bit of a weird round right there, so don't want to harp too much on the results for that one as they threw quite a few players at the site before they realistically should have, but...
Poor Yeti. Poor Yeti. And you know what's going to make it better? Now
poor Rampy, too, man. Rampy was just off on his lonesome there at one point.
Nah, see, here's the thing that, John, the main problem with what it was, because Yeti had a hot drone. He technically, if they had spotted Grixer, he'd got that kill, that he would have had a free sight. I was going to talk about how he was, that was all set up to be Blitz. Now he's Yana again. It's all good. I was really hoping he'd stick that one, but nope, he's Yana once again. And it's going back to Aviator and Games. Well, for SQ's first time on the defense.
Grixer trying to get the shield down on top of the map table, too. We'll finally be able to find the position for it. And a little bit more play capability in the midst of the round. Blackbeard as well getting swapped away there on the repick. Like we said before, there's like 3 to 4. There's like 3 to 4 operators where like if I see them in the normal pick phase, I'm like they're getting repicked. You know, it's Blackbeard's one of them, Glaz another one, and I think it's like Bandit if they initially pick Bandit.
There was a team in CL led by former TSM player Gasher.
Blitz.
Former TSM player Gasher, his team would just pick random ops at attacker repick, and then they would switch during there. They would never.
I mean, it makes sense.
They would
right?
never have their. They would never have any semblance of their official lineup in the pick phase. They would just be like, all right, just pick random ops. We'll just talk about it. I've never seen a team actually just do that. Just straight up pick different ops than what they do. Like consciously do it. It was very weird. It was also very funny, and I did appreciate it in the moment. Minute in so far, and Mirage, they haven't secured much. We see a player over by 90, player by main door, but now a player at Art. And with the buck and the nades, now, as we enter the 2nd minute of the round, we might have something, might have an inkling of what Mirage are planning to do. They've got the buck to do some remodeling of the floor of the Aviator and Games bomb sites, and also the grenades down below to either throw out through those holes or find some intel, namely on these mirror windows, but somebody's got to be watching that. Nobody looking at the main stairs means one of those sets of nades are down, and yet he's only got one left. If he can't make this work, but they're going to have to storm up main stairs at a man disadvantage, but thankfully Rampy's there to shut down only one of the 2 flankers.
He played here by the Soniqs, once again capitalizing on Mirage's gaps in info that seem to be popping up from time to time here in the round. Either a lack of an overwatch or just not the best information about where a second player may be coming from after they're able to pick up an initial entry for themselves. They lose quite a bit of their pushing prowess now. Oh no, and Kansan failing to check the ground as he tries to work himself up through main stairs, gives himself away. Will get confirmed as the final member of the team also goes down. Soniqs with a convincing win in AVG and now sets them up for map and match point very early on in the game.
Just one Villa defense, hopefully on a site that isn't trophy statuary if they want to win this one, though they have to at this point unless they want to go living room library. That'd be a hell of a way to kind of put a stick in the eye of Mirage.
It's not a horrible site in my opinion. Like, I
mean, honestly, the fact that Mirage have only one trophy statuary, it would be really funny if Soniqs are like, let's go living room library. Let's just see if they can do it.
Yeah, like you can win it.
They can muster the effort.
Like, it's not impossible. So we're not going to see them go for that though. I got bad news, folks. At least if you're a Soniqs fan.
I'm really sad right now.
As they are going to go back to trophy statuary. Wait, what? What did you say?
I'm devastated.
Oh, I think you said something else.
I'm so sad. No, I mean, I
think you asked me like hug you or something.
Can I get a hug real quick?
That might be a little difficult with the headsets on.
We were really far side. There we
go. Yeah, just shoulder hug.
That was the most awkward thing ever. I'm so glad you guys did not see that. I just really wanted some help. Trophy statuary is the final round for Soniqs, only potentially the final round. I don't want to call it too early, but if they do end up winning this one defense, or at least one of the 3 defensive rounds they could play in this regulation, they'd just secure top 6. Not only for them, but all of us. We would know the top 6, and we would know the bottom 2. The remaining 2 games would be primarily for seeding, and the bottom 2 would include Mirage, unfortunately. They would not take away a single point, would join Parabellum as being sent to the open qualifier playoffs, and you would not see them play in the NAL next week. But we still got potentially a couple rounds to go until then, and a trophy statuary defense with Mirage have won every single one when they've been defending it and attacking it. Right now, they are looking to, well, mirror a lot of what they did last time. 2 outside a bedroom and 2 over by Astro. They are not looking to acquire full map control over by Aviator and Games. They very much want to use this clutch drone to hack the utility, hack the cameras, and then flood in through bathroom or bedroom, depending on which goes their way.
Soniqs try to continue to maintain their initial positions here. Mirage, of course, yet to really test those as of yet, so we're going to see that call come to fold in a moment here. Gio with a nice advance forward, denies the initial opening of the walk-in wall, which would have really ruined, of course, the bathroom defense as well. He's able to maintain it, but he's also locked himself, at least prematurely, in towards the inside of walk-in. Rampy will take some serious damage as he tries to move forward for the first time, and indeed, he'll get finished off by Citizen. Soniqs put the right foot down this time, able to find that initial entry. Rexon, some timing, could be the end of him here, but it's not going to end up being the case. That repel over towards Astro will not end up getting the better of him. He's able to make that transition, and everything is said and done. Still positions on the inside of walk-in 2, although Nate will attempt to take care of that. Close, but no cigar here for Gio, and now he's able to follow it through. Picks up one more kill in his own regard. They have to pull back the entry going into walk-in as well. Motion detector goes off, but it's too slow of a reaction from Gio, so DP Fire finally deals with him. Still down a player, though, even after that trade.
Mirage finally clear out that closet hold. There's still plenty of factors going SQ's way. Time, man advantage. I was about to say Citizen C4, but he's now pre-placed it and detonated it as well. No info, unfortunately. Rips it a little bit too early, and now there's no more C4s for SQ, but that just means they now have the man advantage, the time going their way, the HP advantage is DP Fire and Yeti, both on reduced HP. And they do have 5 drones, but Citizen, hey John, you're not outgunning this man.
Certainly not. Gunner as well, up to the challenge. DP Fire finally able to trade onto him, however, but now DP Fire left alone here. Needs to clutch to save the game, and it's just not going to happen. The Soniqs shut things down as they take control for themselves. 7-3 on Villa, and a full 3-point spread to go along with that, locking them in at minimum top 6 here out of the group stage.
In North America, that's not just SQ, that is your top 6 secured. SSG, DZ, OXG, M80 Beast Coast. Those are your top 6. Mirage PB in the bottom 2.
Another game done, ladies and gentlemen. Still 2 more to go for this evening, so stick with us. We're going to go a quick break. When we come back, we've got your analysis desk ready to break this game down and get you ready for the next one.